neighbor! Today is a makeup video using the JUVIA'S Violets palette, not sponsored. If you want to see how I made this eyeshadow look, please stick around. Hi neighbor! My name is Hannah and welcome back to my channel, Pretty Hippie Me. My channel is about fashion, makeup, and life in general, so if you like this video, I hope that you subscribe to my channel and set your notifications to all so you can keep in touch with everything going on here in the neighborhood. I'll be giving you a, I don't want to say review, but just like show you the JUVIA'S Violets palette, which I recently got for my birthday. Thank you to my boyfriend. I've used it once before, so it's technically not like a first impressions. It's like a second impressions because usually my very first time using a palette I don't make the best eye look. I think that maybe showing you the second impression is more equivalent skill-wise to somebody else's first impression, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I wanted to just get this on my face. It's a Black-owned brand that I'm happy to support right now. Let's talk about it. I have been needing purples in my collection for a while, so I'm glad to have these. I love the image on the front. Like, this is super duper beautiful. It's a little bit more blue toned than I thought it was gonna be. I thought there were gonna be more like red toned purples like the one up here in the corner. Probably I just didn't pay close enough attention when I was looking at the advertising photos. I'm just gonna go with it. And I like the size of these pans too. This was $14. These are big, like nice size pans for a $14 palette. 2 shades are mattes and then the other 4 each have some amount of shimmer to them. This one up here is kind of more like a velvet finish rather than like a shimmer. So we'll see how those textures each individually work. I'm not really going into this with a plan other than to just use as many colors as I can. So I have my face done. I have my CoverGirl True Blend concealer on my eyes. Let's just get into it. I'm excited. I'll zoom you in a little bit. So while we're getting this going, definitely let me know about your experiences with JUVIA'S because it is a new brand for me. This is my very first JUVIA'S palette that I'm trying. So, See, so I'm struggling because of the 2 mattes and 4 shimmers. I'm trying to figure out what's the right color to put in my crease. Because I feel like this dark matte up here is great for the outer corner of the eye. And I usually put a matte in my crease. So maybe I'll just make a super shimmery look with all of these shimmers. My little Wet n Wild crease brush that I love, that I got from the dollar store. I'll put this in my crease and we'll just see what happens. That's the only thing that I might change about this palette is to have one more color be a matte. It could be totally fine. I feel like my makeup skills have grown a bit over the past few months. It's been like 9 months of me doing makeup and fashion videos in some, what am I trying to say? Some way, shape, or form. And I feel like I really have been improving. So I'm putting this in the crease. And I do like it. Yesterday I used this as my lid shade and it was really nice and vibrant when I packed it on with my paddle brushes. You guys know I love my paddle brushes. And it's still giving me a lot of nice warm color. The thing that I'm thinking is that maybe my concealer is just like a touch too tacky for this formula. I've heard such wonderful things about the JUVIA'S formula being super duper blendable. And this happened with ColourPop too. The only ColourPop palette that I have, it comes on a little patchy. This isn't necessarily coming on patchy, but it's not blending the way that I thought it was going to. But I think that that has more to do with my concealer, especially if it's consistent across 2 different brands that everybody loves and says is super blendable and super workable. So just keep that in mind, I guess. I have oily eyelids, so if you're an oily eyelid diva like me, and you have a really good like concealer that you like to put on underneath your eyeshadow, please let me know what it is. Yeah, no, that blended out pretty well though. All right, let me put it in on the other side as well. And by the way, once again, I just want to check in with everybody. Like, how are you doing? There's so much going on right now. I hope that you are all safe and well and healthy. If you're out there in the streets, or if you're staying at home, if you're donating, having conversations with your family, like whatever's going on with you right now, I just wish you all a lot of love and peace, and like let me know in the comments below. What's going on? How are you feeling? We're really living in the weirdest like clusterfuck of a time, excuse my French, with this pandemic and then George Floyd and people being really suddenly motivated to get out in the streets and raise their voices. Now things are reopening. The place where I work is reopening and I'm starting to go back into the office daily, and I had like a panic attack yesterday. I just so did not want to go back to work because of some issues that I had had while I was working there, but also just like there's so much fear right now and uncertainty about the future. Just it all kind of came on me yesterday, and while I was driving to work, I was just like holding back tears the whole time. I was wearing black liquid eyeliner and I didn't want it to smudge down my face. So be kind to yourself. If you need to turn off social media for a few days and let your brain relax, like do it. The fight will still be happening when you get back on, but it can't keep going if everybody is just exhausted. So it's okay to take a break. That's part of self-care, is making sure that you still have a self to care for. You know what I mean? You know, I like how this looks in the crease. The texture is good. Like it's not like a crazy shimmer. Oh my goodness. Let me adjust I thought things were looking dark. I had my lights set up wrong. Oh my god. This should be easier now for you all to see me. I have this light with a remote that I got. I just want to make sure you all can see what I'm actually doing on my face. Yeah, I mean, there definitely is a shimmer to it, but it's not like a lot. I'm happy with it in the crease. For the rest of it, it's gonna be all shimmer-tastic. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to put this one here in the outer corner of my eye. Saturday was a very interesting experience for me. I did my first, big girl photo shoot is what I'm calling it, where like a photographer that I know, who's a friend of mine, had an idea for a photo shoot and he reached out to me on Instagram. We planned it for a couple weeks and then we went out on Saturday and got her done. Between the hours of 5 p.m. and geez, we were shooting until like 10:30. And it was really cool. 4 different outfits on the streets of a city that is about an hour away from me, which I'd never been to before, and it was very interesting just to be there. I like it. Why do I have a patch though? Why do I have a hole? But it was really fun and I learned a lot. I have very limited experience modeling. Ooh, guys. I like it. For some reason, it's more like pigmented on this side than it is on this side. This is how I know that the problem is me and not the product. So I have very limited experience with any kind of modeling. I went to John Casablanca's Modeling and Talent Center for a program last year. I mentioned that in my previous video. Like, it was interesting. I learned a bit from it. We did a lot of runway work, but I'd never done really a lot of photography work. And honest to God, I'm not big on taking photos of myself. I'm not a big selfie taker. Like, my Instagram is bad. It's just mostly thumbnails of my YouTube videos. I don't know, I've never been into selfies. So I don't really have the same kind of confidence in front of a camera that I have on a runway. I went to school for musical theater, so being on a runway just feels like being on a stage to me. That's pretty. Okay, they're blending together nicely. So it was really nice to just like get out into a photo shoot with a really friendly and like understanding photographer and have him coach me and kind of teach me some principles of posing that I hadn't really thought about before, and just be really nice about it. You know, he's a really nice guy. His name is John and he's POP Photo Studio, Pop Photo Studio on Instagram. So, you know, give him a follow if you like. He takes really good photos. I'm gonna use this shimmer shade on my lid with my paddle brush. Pack it on. Ooh, it's like creamy. I like it. It was really fun. We did like 4 outfits across 3 or 4 different locations. I'm not gonna be able to reveal the photos for a while. Also, this is gorgeous. The shimmer? Yeah, it really is like creamy. More than the other shimmers that I've used so far. This is very like, I love this. Because we're trying to get some of the photos published and he's looking at a few different places that he can submit. It'll be a while before I can reveal the photos, and if I do, they'll probably be from the publication rather than just straight up the photos themselves. I love that, guys. So yeah, it was just a really cool experience, and I'm very lucky to have gotten in contact with this photographer, and I'm really happy that we work well together. That's the big thing if you are trying to do modeling or build your portfolio or anything. What's most important, I think, is to find a photographer that you work well with and have good chemistry with, because that's where you're gonna feel the most comfortable at the shoot and the most confident and take the best photos. Like, if the person who's photographing you isn't communicating well with you, oh guys, this is super good. And like, this is not sponsored. This is just me reacting. I haven't used this shade yet. I didn't use it yesterday, but like, oh my God, that is delightful. We had a good collaboration going on. We were respecting each other's ideas, and he was letting me pose how I wanted to. And we have tons of great photos. And so you can leave a shoot like that just feeling really good. While you're there, there's a really nice like trust that forms. And so it's a really good experience when that can happen. So that's what I encourage you to find. It can be a family member or a friend, or it can be someone like I met John through a mutual friend of ours, who, by the way, her name is Julie Nagy. She's young, she's like 16 or so, aspiring model. I met her through some John Casablancas things, and she's just so like beautiful and such a nice person. So follow her on Instagram, follow Pop Photo Studio, give them some love. When you meet the right photographer, you can take the right photos. You can have photos that you feel proud of to have in your portfolio. You want to be proud of the photos that are there. I'm gonna put this matte shade on my lower lash line. Now, I have not really tried a lot to be a model. I don't know, I'm finding that I like YouTube better, and I like the fact of like having creative control. I like being in charge. I just do. That's not the job. That's not what you sign up for as a model. Ooh, yeah, yes, 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 yes. So I have not been like really chomping at the bit. I have not been really trying hard to put myself out there as a model. I don't know, John Casablancas, I need to do a whole video talking about them. I was disappointed in several ways working with them. And it's also hard when you're a beginning model, because a lot of the stuff that you do for free is just crappy. I did one runway show through JC that was just such an unorganized hot mess that I literally like just about had a panic attack because of how awful everything was going. Let me know if you want to hear that tea. But I just think that if you do the JC program, you've really got to like take your experience with a grain of salt. I can't say too much more because I can go on a whole rant I don't want to go on. But look at this eyeshadow. Oh my God. And this is with minimal blending, to be honest with you. Like, it just naturally works together with itself really well, which is something I really appreciate. Something that I've noticed with other eyeshadow palettes is like the amount of blending and work that it takes for eyeshadows within the same palette from the same company to work together. But these are working together like a team. They're on the same mission. There's teamwork going on here. There's communication going on here. They are meant to work together, which I really appreciate. And it makes it a way easier experience for me as, you know, maybe not so much a makeup beginner anymore, but like intermediate maybe. Like, I feel like my skills have improved, but I'm not a whiz, you know? Like, I'm doing the most basic look right now, but it looks super good, so I'm excited about that. The last thing I'm going to do is use this kind of like rosy shade almost, like a rosy lavender as a highlight. So yeah, all that to say, modeling is interesting. I like YouTube better, but every now and then, if the opportunity comes along to do some modeling, I am more than happy and willing to do so. I mean, I would love to turn into Ashley Graham someday, but Ashley Graham who came from YouTube. I like having a voice and having an opinion and having some artistic input. And I think that YouTube is a great way to get started if that's your goal. I'm going to add some mascara and some black liquid eyeliner. Before I do, let me just give you a close look at the eyeshadow itself. I'll add those finishing touches and I'll be right back. Okay, so I added a black wing liquid eyeliner and my mascara and this brown lip because I feel like the eyes have enough going on. I was gonna stick with like a nude color to keep the focus here. So let me show you a close-up of the final look all together. Now I get to take off my headband, get my hair going. I just showered, so it's all wet and patted down. I am really loving this eyeshadow palette. I'm really excited about it. Like I said before, all the colors are working together without a lot of extra effort from me. So especially like if I'm in a rush, if I have to go to work later today, for example, I know I can put together a look from this palette pretty quick and easy without having to think too hard about it. Like this can be honestly one of my go-to like quick palettes, which I really appreciate. I was able to use 5 out of the 6 colors for this look, and I'll say that I used this purple matte yesterday and it performed, you know, very similarly to the upper dark matte. I got it for my birthday, so not that I spent money on it, but if you do, I think it is worth the money. It's very affordable and I think the quality is worth the price, if not more. I think that my favorite shades are definitely these two on this end with this kind of like creamy, almost velvety texture, although this one is more creamy than the one up here. So yeah, really nice palette. This is one of my favorite eye looks that I've done for a long time, and all around good experience. Let me know your thoughts on this palette or any similar minis from Juvia's Place if you have them. Let me know your thoughts on the look that I made, your thoughts on just things happening in the world, on the stories that I told. And while you're down there commenting, I hope that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. The little neighborhood here on the channel is growing like crazy and I'm so excited about it. It feels crazy to me. As of filming, I'm at 431 subscribers, and not that long ago I was not even at 400. So I'm really happy that somehow people are starting to find me, and I'm really like honored that people are joining the neighborhood and subscribing here. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you are well and I hope that you take care of yourself. I really appreciate you and your time and the fact that you are spending your time here with me. So much love. Bye. Do a good look.